Big time title fight coming up this weekend. We have the Lioness Amanda Nunes looking to jump back down to bantamweight for the first time in a long time, taking on the Venezuelan Vixen, former Ultimate Fighter winner Julianna Pena. And I was brought up watching the movie Bambi, among other things, and I was always told, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. This is going to be a short video, and I'm going to be polite, and I'm going to offer up opportunities for both of these fighters, and we're not going to get drug into the mud on this one. But Matt, I don't think Julianna Pena has a great shot in this fight. But listen, that's the start of this one. So for Amanda Nunes, again, since she's become bantamweight champion, since she beat Cupcake Tate Lowe those many years ago, let's look at some of the wins. I mean, her 5 on in: Chris Cyborg, Holly Holm, Jermaine Durandamy, Felicia Spencer, Megan Anderson. Recently retired Felicia Spencer too, so enjoy retirement. She just picked up a big win over Leah Letson. I was surprised by that news. But Nunes, her last time out when she fought Megan Anderson, looked amazing. And there were so many questions going into that fight.
She had her beat before they even walked in the cage. That's how good Amanda Nunes is.
But really, there were so many questions. You know, layoff, having a kid, like, what's it really?
She didn't have it.
No, but still, you know, becoming a mom for the first time. And they focus so much on that in the build-up to that fight. How committed is she to fighting now? Well, she went out there and proved everybody wrong on that one. So for Nunes, I have to expect the cut down to 135. It's going to be difficult, especially when you continue to move on in your career. But she's turned out to be one of the most, you know, consummate professionals out there. And same can be said for Julianna Pena. I mean, this is somebody that she's had, you know, amounts of inactivity in her career. She's a mother herself. She's had injuries. And really through and through, since she's come back with a big statement win, you know, she loses to Valentina Shevchenko almost 5 years ago. Big time layoff, beats Nico Montano, goes out there, loses to Jermaine Durandamy, and then she beats Sarah McMahon to get her title shot. Again, I'm going to be a nice guy. She was supposed to fight Holly Holm in late spring, early summer. That fight falls out. And then instead of like giving her another contender, they give her a title fight.
So the issue that this division has is that there's 3 fighters who are better than everybody else, and there's one fighter who's so much better than those other 2 fighters, it doesn't even really matter. Amanda Nunes, there's a bigger separation between Amanda Nunes and the second best fighter in this division than any other division, than any other sport in the world, I might even go on to say. Like, there's a bigger separation between her and the second best fighter in the division than, like, Stephen Curry and the worst point guard in the NBA. Like, that's how big the gap is. Because with Amanda Nunes at this stage of her career, she doesn't have any major flaws. Because when there is somebody who is a minus 500 favorite, minus 1,000 favorite, you sort of do have to nitpick and think, okay, what are their few weaknesses if they do have any? And what can their opponent really do to capitalize on those weaknesses? So let's break it down really quick. What is Julianna Pena really good at? Well, she's a very experienced grappler. She has, I'd say, a smothering style, but it does open up submissions if she is able to really progress from guard to side control and get into mount. But she's not a great fighter off of her back, and she has demonstrated that she can get caught by submissions to less than great grapplers. Now, getting submitted by Valentina Shevchenko isn't that big of a deal. She's a very good grappler. When Valentina submits you off her back, though, by an armbar and full guard, I'm a little bit concerned about your grappling credentials when that's what you're billed as. When you tell me you're a grappler by trade, I'm the best grappler in this division, then it's tough for me to see you lose by submission to someone who's a weight class smaller and then to someone else who isn't even a grappler. Like, if Jermaine Durandamy has one weakness in her game, it's that, honestly, she's not the best defensive grappler. And she was able to get up, or lock up a defensive submission on Pena, which, listen, I said Andre Muniz would never submit Jacare Souza. I didn't think Jermaine Durandamy even knew submissions. Like, that was such a surprising performance. And listen,
Utrecht, stand up.
I know that we have both talked a lot about how talented Jermaine Durandamy is and just how tough a fighter she is against anybody.
Wish she fought every other weekend.
It would be really nice. But the issue is, when you lose by submission, when you are a submission specialist to someone who doesn't go for any submissions at all, it's putting a little bit of doubt into my head that you can go out there and out-grapple someone who's demonstrated the ability to out-grapple pure grapplers. Amanda Nunes not only outboxed Miesha Tate, she out-grappled her and rear naked choked her. She didn't just beat Jermaine Durandamy, she took her down, ground and pounded her for 20 minutes, and then just really implemented her physical game onto her. If you want to go back further, look at what Amanda Nunes did to Jermaine Durandamy the first time they fought. Got into mount, ground and pound elbows, finished the fight. Okay, so we're just talking about the grappling right now, and that's where Pena would have the most success, you would think. Let's talk about the stand-up.
Look at that fight against Nico Montano, and look at the picture of Julianna Pena with her hand raised, and her left eye is swollen to bits.
Exactly, and it's nothing against Nico Montano. Honestly, she is a much better fighter than most people will ever even know, but she's not Amanda Nunes. Like, Amanda Nunes head kicked Holly Holm and knocked her out with a head kick. And when Joe Rogan said, hey, why'd you head kick her? She said, well, she's known for it, so I want to hit her with her own move. You're that good that you can beat the second best fighter in the division with her own signature move just because you thought it would be cool. Like, this is the type of fighter we're talking about with Amanda Nunes. I'm not trying to take anything away from Julianna Pena, but I honestly think Amanda Nunes could probably defend her 145 and 135 title in the same night.
Both of us going with Amanda Nunes in this fight. If you're putting money on it, you're a goofball. Because, I mean, she opened a minus 800 favorite. It's not worth it. Just watch it. Hang out, and get ready for the main event. Charles Oliveira is taking on Dustin Poirier. You talk about excitement levels, it's right here. We have a fight companion coming up this weekend where we'll cover this fight, but also that one and the rest of the fights on the main card. You're not going to want to miss it with UFC 269, so keep it locked in with Fight Night Picks, as we always say.
Let's get into it.